so they were definitely wanting my attention this morning, but Daddy came to the rescue and he's playing with them outside. It's a beautiful day here in Texas. So that's the beauty of this business, guys, is that we can literally work around our family schedule. And for me, that has been the biggest blessing that Plexus has brought me over the last 6.5 years. And for those of you that don't know me or my story, I joined 6.5 years ago, and it definitely, the business was not what I joined for. I was looking for a miracle for my health and to help me with all of my health issues I had going on at the time, and to get off prescription medications. And I definitely found that. And, you know, just by sharing what these products were doing for me and for a few of my loved ones and friends and family, it turned into this business opportunity that I'm forever thankful for. I was a teacher before Plexus, and, you know, I loved teaching. It was my passion, but my passion shifted once I learned that there are actually other avenues of income to be able to stay at home and still bring financial blessings to the table and be around your kids and your family and all the things that Sarah and Amy were talking about earlier about just bringing peace to your life. And to me, you know, the older I get, I just had a birthday in September, and the older I get, the more I feel like I'm getting more in tune with real passions in life and what really means in life, like things that are really, really important, and really things that I thought used to be important that really just aren't. And so for me, important things are time and experiences. And so because of Plexus and because of my amazing team and my sidelines and my uplines and all the amazing people that I've been surrounded by the last 6.5 years, that has been able to happen. So I just hope that if you guys are on this call and you've been doing this for maybe a short amount of time or a long amount of time or however long, that you know, this opportunity is also bringing you blessings and joy to your life. Because, you know, whenever you do something for a long period of time, even a year or two, sometimes it can become monotonous and you know, maybe not as fun as it was in the beginning. And so you have to learn to spice things up. And you have to learn to shift and to pivot. And, you know, what we did as a team 6 years ago is definitely not what we're doing now. And I will tell you that I am a creature of habit, and I very much like things to be just as they are all the time. And my husband's the risk taker. And so, you know, to evolve like that in your business isn't easy for me. I didn't love, you know, all the social media things that have come about over the last few years. I was totally anti-stories. I was totally anti-Instagram. And guess what? I'm utilizing the stories and working on my Instagram. You know, but I think we have to show up and do what we can with what we've got. And we have to learn to give ourselves grace and to know, like, I know that I am not super techie. I am never probably going to be Insta famous. And you know what? That's okay, because I don't want to be Insta famous. I want to learn and educate myself and grow and do what I can with what I've got, but also not jeopardizing my mind, because your mind is very important in this business, and my family. And so I've learned to grow my Instagram slowly but surely, and, you know, watching these trainings and listening to the experts and doing this and doing that. And some of the things I really catch on and I love it. And then some of the things I'm like, that's not for me. And so I just move on. So that was totally off topic of what I'm going to go into right now, but I just wanted you guys to know that, you know, this is a total growth over time. And if you're still doing the exact same things that you were doing when you first started, you may want to, you know, look at that and reevaluate what's working and what maybe isn't working. My biggest pet peeve in this is to try to work smarter, not harder, because again, this is supposed to be, you know, an opportunity of a lifetime. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean that you don't have to work, or you don't have to show up, or you don't have to be there for your team, or you don't have, I mean, you have to do the things. You have to do the steps. You have to do what Sarah and Amy were saying earlier. in order to move the needle in your business. And some of us move the needle really, really fast, and we get to where we want to be overnight sometimes, and we're like, whoa, how did that just happen? Okay, now I'm here, what do I do? And so in that case, sometimes, you know, when we do move faster than others, sometimes the growth didn't happen along the way. And so, you know, we may have gotten to a rank quicker than we anticipated. And so at that point, maybe we have to take some time to actually grow our mindset, grow our education on the product, grow in ourselves, all the things. This is a non-stop growing process. You know, I have a ton of books over here that I love to read, and my goal would be to read a book, you know, every month or so, but right now in this season of my life, it's just not occurring. So I'm giving myself grace, and I'm doing something else that refills my cup, but also is still continuing to grow me spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all the things. So I want to just encourage you guys to continue to move the needle in your business, but know that you have to show up to go up. Okay, so I'm going to talk about three-way chats, three-way messages, just because this may be something that you're like, well, we already do that, or, you know, that's not something I didn't know about. And if so, then that's great. I want to reiterate the importance of them. And I want you guys to know that they really are something special, and something that if you're not, you should be utilizing. To me, it's about empowering. It's about empowering your team. And, you know, again, that working smarter, not harder thing. For me, I'm a yellow personality. So I'm a people pleaser. I want to do all the things. I want to be all the things. I want to be there for everybody, every single last person. Well, now as a Diamond Ambassador, you know, 8,000 plus people in my downline, there's a lot of people pulling and tugging and messaging and wanting this and wanting that, and da 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 da. And we, even a gold ambassador, senior gold, ruby, you know, we're one person. We are only one person. And so what I have learned to do over the years is working on delegating and knowing that I am not and should not be the one all, the say all, do all, be all, because that is when I tend to get in a rut in my business, when I try to do all the things. And here's the thing. I know that I have certain qualities that I feel are great and I bring to the table. But there are also qualities that I know that my team has that I don't have. And so I want to utilize them, and I want to utilize their qualities and their knowledge and their expertise that they bring to the table. And so how do you do that? Sometimes when people come on board as a new ambassador, or even maybe they've been on board for quite some time, but they don't have that confidence, and they don't have the, really, it just comes down to confidence and to knowing that they have the ability to do what they see us doing. And so the way to get them to do that is by empowering them. And how do you empower them? You show them what they're capable of. And so for me, I feel like the best way that I have seen with my own eyes my team become empowering and flourishing and duplicating and watching them grow their wings and fly away, in a sense, you know, is by or through three-way chats. So what we do is, I have instilled this in my team for the last several years. And basically I stress to them, you do not have to ask permission to start a three-way chat with me, because why waste time? You know, hey Lauren, can I start a three-way chat with you with Susie? Yes, go ahead. Da, da, da. Let's just eliminate all that. We're going to work smarter, not harder. And my team knows. My leaders know, as soon as they have a potential that is on board, they throw me in a chat with their potential. They first ask their potential, you know, Susie, you know, we've been talking about plexus. I'm super excited you're interested in these products. Would you mind if I put you in a chat with one of my really good friends, Lauren, and keywords friend, not sponsor, not upline, not ambassador, because to me those sound salesy and things like that. Okay, what am I getting into? So my friend Lauren, she has been, you know, she's more of an expert on the products than me, and I would love for her to share her knowledge on the products and what it's done for her, because she's been, you know, taking these products for over 6 years. Just something very, very simple and short like that. And then 9 times out of 10, Susie or whoever will say, sure, no problem. So they throw them in three-way chat, and, you know, I have the chat on my phone. But I will tell you also, the other thing that I have been working on is not becoming a slave to my inbox. Because again, that can become super overwhelming, especially for a yellow personality like me, because I constantly feel the need to check the messages, to get back to the people, to make them feel happy. And so it's been a work in progress. So I want to encourage you, if you're feeling like that is pulling you down, draining you, causing you not to want to work your business, then guys, you are in charge of that. You're the only one that can set those boundaries. And I know that Sarah and Amy, Nikki, all of us, we've all had to work through those, setting those boundaries, because if not, guys, we would be working 24/7. And there are people that do that, and that's great and that's awesome, but that is not why I wanted to continue this opportunity. I wanted to continue this opportunity for freedom, and to me, that's not freedom. So if you're feeling a slave to your inbox, you set boundaries. That doesn't mean you don't check your messages for a week. That doesn't mean that. For me, what it looks like is I work in chunks. I work in spurts. I've got 3 kids at home. I've got my husband and I have other businesses going on. I've got all the things, all the mama, all the house, all the things. I usually get my kids started for the day, and I check my inbox. The biggest thing I've eliminated is waking up, rolling over, and picking up that phone. That is the biggest thing I've eliminated. And guys, it has really created some real big things in my life, because again, I was becoming a slave to it. I feel like when I am sitting in a spot, it doesn't have to be in a desk, it doesn't, anywhere that feels just calm for you. I mean, it could be hiding in your closet from your kids, right? Where you can really dive into your messages and read through, bust some messages back out, and really intentionally working your business, because I felt like I was constantly treading water by always just the next thing, but also halfway giving my attention to my kids. So my team, when they throw me in a 3-way message, for instance, one of my level 1s is really good at this, and she's been doing it for over a year and a half, and she is senior Ruby. Next is Emerald for her. So she still utilizes me. Now, what her 3-way messages look like now is different than what they looked like in the beginning. So in the beginning, she'd start the 3-way message. Hi, Jennifer, let's just say Jennifer, my level 1, she knows, my runners know to ask their potential what they're hoping to achieve with Plexus. What are they looking to achieve? Is it energy, weight loss, digestive issues, you know, maybe skincare, something like that. So then when she throws me in the 3-way message, she puts that in the initial message. This is Susie. She's looking to, you know, get some help with her digestive issues. She also has some skin issues she'd like to take care of. Would you mind sharing your testimony and giving her some knowledge on Plexus? Okay, done. Now, she may send that, and I may not see the message pop up for 45 minutes. But you know what? That's okay. That is okay. In my opinion, that is okay. Some of you guys may work your business differently. Now, I do work, I'd say a few hours a day sitting just at my computer. So at that point, if I'm working on my computer, I'm on the Facebook Messenger, I'm on my emails, I'm on this, I'm on that, I'm sending, you know, I'm doing my IPAs. If I see a message pop up, I may choose to see, okay, this is so-and-so, let me take care of this 3-way message right now. And it may be quicker, but there are times when it may be longer, and that's okay. So that also gives everyone freedom, because I guarantee you that potential is probably at work or at a job or doing something, or, you know, being a mama, whatever she's doing. And so when I get back to the message, I make sure and thoroughly answer the question, give my testimony. I also do voice messenger. I find that seems a little more personable, and they can hear my tone, they can hear my voice. I've also pre-recorded just a few, like 3 voice messages, And I use voice memo on my phone because you can record over a minute. And I save them in voice memo. It's just an app on your phone. And you can title it. And I say, testimony 1, testimony 2, testimony 3. And so when somebody sends me that message, an initial message, I go straight there and I send those first 3 voice messages so that I'm not having to repeat myself, working smarter, not harder. And they get to hear my testimony. Then from there, I will ask the potential, Susie, I see that you're interested in getting control of some digestive issues. Can you give me a little bit of background on what it is that you're suffering with daily? What would be your ultimate goal if you could, achieve something with plexus? And and then I'll ask her about her skincare. And I want to make it personal. I want her to open up to me. I want her to feel as though she can trust me, even though she doesn't know me, just like Amy was saying earlier. She didn't know Sarah from Adam. And, by the grace of God, it all worked out. And I truly feel like it's that all the time. And so me as the upline, I am being personal. I'm sending her voice messages. I'm letting her hear my tone and my care. And then hopefully she'll open up to me. But all the while, the sponsor is in there too. This is allowing the sponsor to maybe who wasn't as empowered or doesn't feel like they're very educated on the products or doesn't feel like they know it all, which none of us know it all, or none of us are complete experts on this, but this is allowing them to learn, and it's allowing them to see what I'm asking them, see what I'm telling them. And, this isn't just for me to then do all the work for them. This is, and I've reiterated that to my team, that this is us collaborating together. And this is for them to learn while I'm teaching. And it's another way of teaching. So, and then in essence, they duplicate that to their teams. So like I was saying earlier, Jennifer, my level 1, our 3-way messages used to be me talking all the time and her popping in every now and then. And then, if the potential wouldn't respond right away, then Jennifer would go in there because she knows her, and would kind of start another question or keep the thread going, And so it's just kind of back and forth, give and take type thing, and we feed off of each other. And so we get the potential learning, asking questions, we feed them, a video, let me send you the triplex video, so on and so forth. And then from there, I ask them, would you be willing to give it a try? So I am totally kind of taking control, not taking control, but I'm guiding the conversation. And then now Jennifer, as my level 1, she still puts me in 3-way messages. But the beauty is that she is just literally utilizing me as a third-party validation. And she is throwing, Susie in there, but she is taking more control of the conversation. She is feeding the information. And it's such an amazing, like when I was a teacher, to see the light bulb go off on those 4th and 5th graders when they finally got something. That is how this experience is when you see your team, the light bulb goes off and they are able to duplicate, if not better than us. And so that's whenever I just smile and know that, my purpose is to do this, because I get joy out of seeing my team flourish and my team growing. I never want to put a ceiling or a lid on them and make them feel like without me, they can't grow, or without me, they can't fly or succeed. I will tell you, 6.5 years, it was April 7th of 2014 when I said yes to this. And this past week, my husband and I took a trip for 5 days. And guys, my team kept on going. My team kept on rolling, and I was not a slave to my phone. And it was the best feeling in the world to be able to take a minute. And I would check in here and there, but every day, but I was not a slave to my phone, and I was actually able to be in the moment and in the memories and making of the memories on the vacation versus, well, they need this or they need that. So that to me, I want to give you hope that if you are in that season of your business where you feel like you are the say all, end all, do all. Think about how you can empower and how you want to, duplicate practices within your team so that at some point, you are seeing that duplication come to fruition. Now, I have new level ones that have just signed on over the last few months. Now, I am working more closely with those, and obviously those, were messaging me and things like that and needed more of my attention, and that's okay. That's the nature of the business. But when you see the ones you've been working with flourish and they take off and fly, don't think that you're no longer needed. Know that you've done your job. And the beauty is to let them duplicate that to their teams, and then so on and so forth. So the last thing I want to talk about, and it still continues to talk about empowering your team. So I have a team page. I've had the team page for 6.5 years. Team page is great. Love the team page. It's where we do all the, the shout outs and the important things. And, but for me, I have scaled it down to a runner's thread. And so this is something else that has worked really well with us. I have a runner's thread, and I change the name every month, and I actually go through and take out people that are not being active in the group, and they know that. I tell them in the beginning, hey guys, you have to be active, you have to be, talking and interacting in the group if you want to stay in it. And that is really where a lot of our conversations go on. Because if I'm constantly posting 10 times a day in a team page, that can get overwhelming for somebody who's not necessarily a business builder, right? And so they may get turned off by all the notifications and just all the things. So I put the most important things in the team page, but when it comes to, asking a question about a product, or wanting to know about a promo code, or wanting to know about anything Plexus products or business, that is where we talk about that in the runner's thread. And the best part of that has been to see the team come to fruition in empowering each other. So yes, it's my thread, but guys, my team, they are all leaders. They are all leaders. They've all stepped up to the plate. I have, nurses and nutritionists and holistic and yoga instructors and meal preppers, and I have, people who know more about all the things than me. And so that's the beauty, I feel like, of this runner's thread, is that if I am not on my phone at the moment and I'm not there to answer the message, 9 times out of 10 when I do go to check that runner's thread, the question's already been answered, probably even better than what I could answer it. And so again, that is empowering your team and seeing the beauty of them growing. So if you don't have one of those and you have somewhat of a team, even if you have 3 or 4 people, it really, to me, it just brings people together. I have people from Pennsylvania to Houston, all over the United States, all over Texas, and we all work together. It's not, well, we're here and you're there and we're here. It's none of that. And to see the cohesiveness and the bond and the total one plexus, to me, is a beautiful thing. And you do that by empowering your team and showing them what they're capable of and allowing them a voice. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. I could go on and on and on. I would love to share some of the scripts that we do use in our 3-way messages. If I could share those maybe in the chat or somewhere, Sarah, just tell me later, because I would love to put those in there later.
Yeah, definitely drop them into the chat, and then we can copy them. And whenever we post the recordings and everything like that, we can include that. Sorry, we have kids trying to come in.
Go away.
Be gone. We can include that for everybody as well, so they have those resources.
Yeah, and I will work on that today. Somebody's asking what the app is, and it's voice memo on the iPhone. Let me find it, if I can find it. It's just voice memos, and it looks like.
Yeah, I think it's like standard on the phone.
That one. Yeah.
I don't think you have to download it. I think it's one of those that's already on the phone.
Yeah, you probably just have to look through.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best thing is to just pull down your screen and type in voice, and it'll pop up.
That is brilliant.
Yes.
You have just rocked my world with that tip.
Because I love the voice, like
you can do anything. You can record, okay, I'm gonna do a 1.5 minute about ProBio 5, because I strongly believe and tell my team all the time, guys, we don't have to be the experts. Let Plexus and the scientists be the experts. Let's utilize their videos. Let's utilize the tools that they give us. Let's not recreate the wheel, right? But I do believe that we should know 1 to 2 sentences about every single product. So if you don't know that ProBio 5 does XYZ, then you need to learn it, do a voice message, practice with yourself. And the more you do it, you know, I rattle stuff off all the time and my team's like, how do you know that? And I'm like, well, practice. You practice, practice, practice. Say it to yourself. Say it in the mirror. Say it in the car. Voice message yourself. Get to where you have a voice message that isn't perfect, but you're happy with, and save it, ProBio 5. And then when somebody wants to know about it, let me send them the ProBio 5 one. I love the corporate videos. I use them all the time, but I still feel like there's something about them hearing from you that also validates it.
Hey, Lauren, do you have time? We had a question come in about your 3-way chats. Do you have time for a question?
Sure.
Do you want to scroll back up there?
So somebody asked what do you do if you have somebody on your team that is resistant to doing 3-way chats?
Yeah, you know, I have had that before. And again, you know, in this type of business, you're going to get all sorts of personalities, and there are people who are just, I'm assuming this person just kind of wants to do it on their own. So, you know, all I can do is just, you know, give them the opportunity. Okay, they said yes. Give them the option. I can, you know, even just, I'm not one of those people to just like push and push and push and harp and harp and harp, and hopefully see that they'll see the beauty of it. I really don't have a straight exact answer. I really just love people where they are, and if they're not ready for that, but at the same time, if they're seeing that other people are moving up and excelling, I always make it a point to point out what people are doing. Like, okay, so-and-so has ranked up, or so-and-so got their incentive. Well, what did they do to do that? Well, they're utilizing 3-way chats. They are, you know, following up. They are, you know, following up is one of the biggest things that people I feel like are missing out on. And I also have trouble with that as a diamond ambassador, just because of my personality. But every time I follow up with somebody, well, I can't say every time, 9 times out of 10, the conversation continues and they want to hear more, or they're ready to go. The thing about people who have not said yes to Plexus is that Plexus is not at the forefront of their mind. They have not been blessed by the products. They haven't seen what they don't know. You know what I mean? And so we have to keep putting it in front of them, just like those little Facebook ads. They put it in front of you, and then you're like, oh yeah, I need a bathing suit. Let me order that. So it's just kind of getting off topic again, but I give shout outs to people and try to put those little, you know, she's utilizing 3 messages, or in the runner's thread, I'll call someone out and give them a shout out and say, you know, so-and-so utilized the 3-way message, and look how beautiful this went. And I do a screenshot of it, you know, just reiterating the importance of it and how it works. But again, you're going to have people that are going to be resistant to it. Hopefully they will warm up and utilize it.
I totally agree with that. And one thing that I have found too is, you know, we always preach to not be the expert, and the people closest to you might have the most resistance to what you're saying, and it might not be believable. And so for people that, can you shut the door? Sorry, we've got chaos around us. The people that are resistant to that, and resistant to possibly just your personality, maybe, you know, maybe it's somebody that you signed up as a level 1 that you're maybe too close with, and there's some power struggle going on there, or just ego in the way. Maybe introducing them to a different upline or somebody to do 3-way chats that will just make them maybe feel a little bit more comfortable. That has worked so well for me, just introducing them to Nikki, or to, you know, maybe a sideline. Your sponsor does not have to be the one doing the 3-way chats always. Your accountability partner, power partner, those types of things, it works so well. But Lauren, seriously, absolutely brilliant. Especially love the voice memo thing. I think that's life-changing. I'm gonna go ahead and do this really quick to fix it. Hang on. Okay, so what we want to do, so this is where it's at 10:01 right now. We have 30 or 29 minutes before our next amazing speaker comes on. What we want you guys to do is either download an app if you need to download it on your phone for the voice memo app, or use the one that you already have and start recording the little snippets, play around with it, record a testimony, record a, you know what, let me educate you on Candida, or here, let me tell you about our triplex. Like, what are the most common things that you get? And then guess what too, we don't need those graphics for sign up. You can voice memo that too. So you always have it, you know, in play. Yep. But I want you guys to do that. And then if you finish that, I want you guys to start adding any potentials that you have to three-way chats, if it makes sense. Obviously, like if you're at a place in the conversation where you are, you know, need to add somebody to a three-way chat, start figuring out who that person is. Is it your sponsor that you're going to add? Who makes sense, and who do you trust, and who do you know is going to handle those three-way chats really effectively?
Yeah. Hey, so we're getting a lot of questions in the chat, but also on the live stream. People want Lauren's snippets, but I'm going to hold Lauren close here and protect her a little bit so she doesn't get inundated, right? I will tell you guys that while it'd be great to hear them, we want to come up with our own, okay? Now, I all the time am in three-way chats. People put me in there because I have Hashimoto's and I only have one thyroid lobe. So 100 times a day, I am giving my testimony in that three-way chat, and then I'm telling them why they need the triplex and original X factor for their thyroid. So guess what? That's the snippet I'm going to do. I'm going to practice my 1-minute testimony, and then I'm going to practice why you want triplex for thyroid. So whatever those snippets might be, practice them. I mean, it would be great to hear Lauren's, but we don't want to reiterate hers, right? We want it to be our own. And then how many people should each person use? You just want to typically use your sponsor. I use Sarah for all mine. Now, every once in a while, if I have somebody that really wants to speak to someone who has migraine experience or RA or something like that, I might reach out to somebody else for that third party, but typically you're going to use your sponsor for that third party validation.
Absolutely. And with those third party validations with testimonies, you can use testimony pages too and just tag them in the physical testimony. One last thing before we break, I want you guys to recognize and take the ego out of the third party chats. There is no point in your Plexus career that you're going to rank out of third party validation, three-way chats, those types of things. I use them all of the time. That is how I onboard. That is how I prospect. That is how I troubleshoot with people. They need to hear, even if they do perceive you as an expert, they need to hear from more than one person to just validate their fears and help them overcome and think, okay, I can do this. I'm comfortable with this, okay? So that's what we're gonna do now. We'll see you guys back here at 10:30 for our next brilliant trainer. So we're gonna put our screen share up, and we'll see you back in 30, okay?
Thank you so much, Lauren.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.